Today we're going to jump into an introduction and a tutorial for how to use BOMAP, which is the BOMAG solution for intelligent compaction. Let's dive right in. First, we'll start off with some components. Right here we have the layout of what's needed component-wise to make your BOMAP kit work. These are the different options that are available through the BOMAG dealer. First of all, you have what's called JOBLINK. This is a VM41 option, and you can see it in two forms. This would be an older version of the JOBLINK that you would see, and this would be the newer style. And both of them do exactly the same thing. Those are what's used to actually read data from the machine. So let's say economizer, asphalt manager, or your temperature gauge, and it broadcasts that to your tablet. Next, we have a high precision antenna, GPS antenna. So this is the VM42 option. In standard, that will give you 12-inch pass-to-pass accuracy or less. So that's the VM42 GPS option. Now you need something to mount that to, so we have several different antenna mount options. These can stay with the machine, and it's a quick mount for the antenna itself. So you see the antenna will just slide right together with the GPS mount, and then there's a quick pin to latch that in, and then you just connect the antenna power cable right there to the side of the GPS mount, and it's good to go. So that way you can take your GPS antenna off at night, especially if you're in an area where vandalism may occur. This mount system is available in 3 different types. It's available for light tandem rollers, it's available for ROPS units, or cab units. So those are 3 different options. Make sure you choose the one that fits your application. With that, you'll also get the power cord. These power cords will plug right into the machine, and those are different per machine. So a cab unit would have a different version than a ROPS unit. Lastly, BOMAG offers tablet holder options. So these are very rugged RAM mount options, and they'll secure the tablet very well. And those again are based on the machine. So we have one for light tandem rollers, one for ROPS units, and one for cab units. These, as you can see, this is actually for a cab unit for the glass mount. The cab unit comes with 2 different mounting options. So either a glass mount that you can mount anywhere on the front glass. It also comes with a hard mount that will actually mount into the A-pillar of the machine. And on the ROPS units, you have a mount that will actually fit around the ROPS post and can be hard mounted there. As with most RAM mount systems, you're probably familiar with that name. They're very popular in the US, and you can get all sorts of mounting solutions that can be tailored to your exact needs. We offer ones that cover the basics of the machine, but there's several options out there on the commercial market for you. So BOMAP, as you know, is a bring your own device type system. So to make it work, you'll need to provide your own tablet. We generally recommend the Samsung series. This is a A8 Plus, but the new S9s are water resistant as well. And the screen size we use is usually about an 11-inch to really get good visibility. So you'll need to find a tablet that works well. If you're going to use it with the Connect, meaning that you're sharing data to the cloud, you'll need to get it with a data plan. So you'll need to find a carrier and make sure that you get the version with the data plan. Most of them that you see will be Wi-Fi only, so pay attention to that when you're getting the unit. Additionally, you'll want a USB cable, usually about 8 or 9 feet or 3 meters. That will be sufficient to get from a power source over to where you're going to mount the tablet itself. So generally about 9 feet. And then depending on how many devices you're going to use, because a lot of people want to plug their cell phone in as well, you may need a power splitter. And this also has, as you can see, USB ports on it so that you can charge a phone or the tablet from it. This is an example where you can split one single port into 2, or you can get a version like this that actually this has a DIN adapter, which you'll find on BOMAG machines. DIN, and then this will go to a standard car port and 2 USB outlets, so that can be handy as well. I always recommend that you keep an antenna, a JOBLINK, and a tablet as a set, and that will belong to a single machine. So it's good to label these label your tablet, label your GPS antenna, and label the JobLink for a machine. So if this is the first time this antenna has been used with BOMAP, so a brand new antenna, you likely have to activate the antenna with a feature inside BOMAP called Scan QR Code. So we'll go to the menu, and you can see the Scan QR Code option, and there's a little QR code on the GPS antenna. So I'll hit Scan QR Code, and I'll aim it at that QR code on the menu, and it will give me, in this case, this GPS is already registered, but if it weren't, it would say GPS antenna is now registered. So that will save us a little time when we get this antenna up on the roof. You won't have to do that step later. Okay, so we're gonna start off by installing the antenna and the mount. So when I do this, I like to go ahead and install the antenna itself right onto the mount. Flip that little lever down. You always want to make sure that you have flipped that down and that it has latched. That's what's going to make sure it stays in there. And I'll go ahead and plug the antenna into its port. This is keyed, so you'll feel when it's popping in. You can see it just popped in there. And then go ahead and tighten that up. Now I'm going to actually install this on the back of the ROPS here. So when I do that, I'm going to actually install it in the center of the roof, as close to the center as possible, so that I don't have to worry about a left or right offset of the antenna in the BOMAP software. And we'll go over that in a little bit. So I'll take this antenna and I'll hold on to the ROP. And again, I'm going to place it as close to the center line, right on those bolts, as I can. Next, we're going to take the power cable, and we'll take a little bit of time. If this is going to stay on this machine for a while, I'm actually going to route it along the back ROPS post here with the other wire loom, up and over, and I'll zip tie that in and make it look really nice so that we know that that's a more permanent installation. When you go to remove that antenna after the day, you'll just take the top piece off, just the antenna itself. Okay, so now that we've routed our GPS power wire down to the outlets, which are on the back right of the console, you'll see that you have two ports. One is a standard 12 volt, 20 amp socket that you would find in most North America automobiles. Another one, you may wonder what that is. That's a 12 volt DIN socket, which is actually used in Europe a lot. That's capital D, capital I, capital N, 12 volt DIN. The reason I bring this up is that our power cord itself is capable of being used in either one. All you have to do is twist this top counterclockwise and pull it off, and then you've got the DIN equivalent socket. And that can then plug right into that DIN socket. So if you needed to use that in addition to what you're already powering off the 12 volt standard port, that's available as an option. And that's the same power plug that you would see on a magnetic beacon. Next, we want to use our JobLink. So in this case, all I need to do is remove the cap on my VM38 port, and this is what VM38 is. This is your measurement interface. We're going to take our plug for the JobLink, plug that right into the VM38, and again, this is keyed as well, so you just need to find how it aligns. And this is magnetic, so I want to do a little bit of cable management, but this is magnetic, so it can hang right there out of the way, and then I'll do some cable management to make that nice and neat. Okay, so now that we have the GPS antenna and the JobLink both connected to the machine, we've powered on the machine to make sure those can boot up. So the first thing we'll want to do is actually pair to both of those devices. And to do that, we'll go to Settings. Over on the left side, you'll see Connections, and we want to click that. And then we'll see Bluetooth. So we'll go to Bluetooth and Settings. And then our available devices should start to populate as it searches for those. The first one I see up here is the BOMAP GPS. And there, the JobLink just populated as well. So I can click JobLink, And down at the bottom of the screen, it will ask if I want to pair with JOBLINK and then the serial number of that. So yes, I do. I'm going to hit pair. And you can see that move to paired devices. So next I'll do the BOMAP GPS. Now this one will come in with a password request or a PIN request. It says try 0000 or 1234. So typically it's 1234, so I'll try that first. And I'll hit pair, and we're paired to that unit. So let's go to the BOMAP app. And for setup, I don't need to log in. I'm just going to click the I have read and accept the terms and conditions. So click that box and continue without a login. So that will bring me into the app, and it will basically just be without a login, so I'm not connected to the cloud. The first thing I want to do is connect to JOBLINK. So in the top right corner, you'll see a little icon that kind of looks like some sort of molecule. So we'll click that, and it says, do you want to use JOBLINK to connect to the machine? In this case, I'm going to say yes, and select one of the paired devices. This is the one that we just paired to, so I'll click that, and we're connected to JOBLINK. You can see at the bottom of the screen. The next thing we'll want to do is connect to the antenna. So we'll click this top right icon, which looks like a crosshair with a slash through it. So we'll click that. And then it says, do you want to connect to the internal GPS or the external antenna? In this case, so the internal GPS is the GPS chip that's inside the tablet or the mobile phone. That's not accurate enough for most of the work we do, so we've got the external antenna mounted. We'll click that. It shows the antenna that we just paired to, so I'll click that. And connection to GPS antenna established, and it shows me my location. So you can see we're right here in the training yard in BOMAG America's headquarters. Now I want to verify that the JOBLINK is actually connected to the machine. So I'll go over here to the top left, which is the menu. I'll drop that down and see the configure machine option. I'll select that. And right now it shows me all the information about this machine. So it's a 161 ADO, tells me it's a circular vibration or a conventional vibration system, and the weight and other parameters. Also tells me, by the way, the drum width right there, 66 inches. I can also go to JOBLINK dashboard, and I'll notice that it's got economizer, so this machine is equipped with economizer. It shows me what the amplitude, speed, frequency of the vibration system, and the asphalt temperature are. So I know that I'm connected to this machine, and I'm able to read that data straight from the machine. With JOBLINK verified, we're ready to do the last step in setup, and that's to set the antenna offset. So our antenna is mounted pretty much in the dead center of the machine, left to right. But I do have to check the measurement from the center of the front drum back to the antenna. I measure that to be about 72 inches or 6 feet. So I'm going to go to the menu and select antenna offset. And you'll see I've got the top selection is left to right and then front to back. So if I select in the front to back, I'm going to select back. And that means my position of my antenna is back from my front drum, and I'm going to put 6 feet in there, 72 inches, and save. Now my antenna is offset, and the offset basically allows BOMAP to calculate exactly where that front drum is relative to the GPS antenna position. So that's the process for setting up and using BOMAP. Once you've done it once, it's really pretty simple and pretty easy to use. Keep in mind this is just an app, so the actual app itself can't be too complex. You really get used to it pretty quickly. We hope you found this content very useful and helpful as far as setting up BOMAP. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. Thank you.